All right, so we're going to get the fire going. This will be the first fire of day 2, and I am cheating. I am using, I subscribe to a specific box every month, and they give me some cool stuff, and so we are definitely cheating. They gave me some fire starters, and yep, not even going to lie. The wood was just a little bit drier. I would chance it, but we're not at that point. I got to clean the dishes from last night, and it's not exactly super cold right now, but still I got to get everything done from last night, the dishes and yeah, so there's that. And then want to, I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not super cold, but cold enough. You'll notice I got wise and put some wood underneath the stove. When I woke up this morning, it was completely buried. There was a well down there, and I could see ground. So I decided to fill it back in and put some wood under it, so that way it doesn't completely sink into the ground again. So, a little bit about my gear. I am using the Hero 5. I'm using the Hero 5 video camera because it's cheaper than a GoPro, and then for a sleep system, I'm using one of the military negative 40 degree ones. I'm only using the one. I'm only using the cold weather, not the patrol liner, and then I'm using the Gore-Tex, and then I have self-inflatable sleeping pad, and I got what I thought was an emergency blanket when I opened up a free checking account with the bank, but it turns out that it's actually a sleeping bag, and it is super slick. I was scooting around all night last night, trying to avoid the stove at all costs, but yeah, I did a lot of scooting, sliding last night. And then for my sled here, I'm using an Otter again. It was cheaper, and it was at one of the big box stores, so I just picked it up. I'm using a Mystery Ranch Metcalf. Like I said, when I spent time in the military, I got used to super heavy backpacks, and I went on a camping trip last year with some friends, and it was about 7 miles on an incline, and that was the hardest hike that I've ever had to do. And I was rocking one of the military surplus bags, and my buddy's girlfriend had the Mystery Ranch Metcalf. I was like, hey, let me take a look at that. And I was sold on the spot. And I actually sold off some of my old gear to get some new gear. Selling some guns to get new gear and things like that. Because again, we're not all rich. And then I have I'm carrying a Ruger GP100 357 Magnum with I'm using Buffalo Bore solid cast loads. That's just for whatever I may run into. I don't know how effective it would be against a moose or a bear, but one of the other things that I'm carrying is bear spray, and I'm just trying to let them not be quiet about anything, do what I got to do, but not don't sneak up on them. Let's see, and I have a med kit, very much pro med kit, very much pro tourniquet. If you need it, it's like one of my drill sergeants once said, if you have it, it's better to have and not need than need and not have. And I've kind of lived by that mantra. I know it's a little more extra weight than but again, that extra pound of weight could translate into saving my life. I'm all about it. Let's see here. And then pretty much it's just whatever I could gather from around the house as far as food goes. And the tent is a Cattleman something or other from Amazon. And I got to admit, I'm not impressed. I pulled it out of the pack and went to set it up. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's already holes in it. And I just put this up yesterday, so I'm not impressed, not even a little bit. And like I said, there's already holes in it, and I hadn't even put the wood stove in it yet. And I took it apart in my basement and kind of looked at it, but I mean, you can't see everything, until you get it up and out and working. So not 100% sold on that. I'm rocking as far as lights go, I am rocking a Streamlight little pen light thing, and I have a Diamondback headlamp. And as far as wins for the trip go, the inflatable pillow, which is a Techology inflatable pillow, that was a win. The headlamp was a win. It's a Diamondback Storm 400 or Point 400. Love it. I think it's great. And, I used it almost all night last night without any issues whatsoever. It didn't, and I still have almost full battery life. I'm rocking a SOG as far as a camp axe, and the reason I'm rocking this is because it's got paracord in it, and it's got a fire steel in here, a flint. My Nature Master is actually a Gerber. I don't know where or when I picked this up, but it's like I said, it's what I had, so it's what we're using. I'm using Survivor Filter water bags. Pretty self-explanatory. Just it makes life easier to have something that you can compress as opposed. And I have Nalgene's also, but actually these are Takia or whatnot. They come with a spout, and I really like that. It makes drinking out of them super easy. And then for a camp axe, we're using a Corona razor saw. I really like these. I use these around my house a lot for pruning trees and just doing basic yard work. And I'm really sold on that. I think it's a really good axe, or not a good axe, a good saw, and I'm really happy with it. But hey, it looks like our fire's getting it going here, which is kind of nice. I'll close the tent flap and let it get some of this moisture. There was a lot of moisture when I woke up this morning. Oh, and I'm also using a Streamlight. What do they call those? Camp light. Obviously I have some Streamlight things. It's just like I said, I've used them for work a lot, and I thoroughly like them. I've never had an issue with it. So. This wood's going way better than the last stuff did. I did a lot of hunting to find this wood. It was the best that I could find. In fact, I threw a few batches out because it didn't have the. I looked at it and it just looked wet. So I mean, this stuff has surface moisture, but there's nothing that I can do about that. But luckily, the interior is pretty dry, and I feel like I actually got enough this time to last me the night. So yeah, I'm just gonna get this fire up and running, and then I'll come back when it's time to clean the dishes. That'll be fun.